Hello, welcome to my channel. In today's video we're making a tricolor hat. Okay, and for this project I'm gonna be using double string. So I'm gonna be using this Lion brand Hometown USA in color Cincinnati red together with this Red Heart Love metallic in color red. My second color is gonna be this Lion brand Hometown USA in the color San Diego Navy together with this Red Hard Love Metallic Royal Blue, and then also this Red Heart Love Metallic White in color white together with this Hometown USA in white as well. So those are the colors that I will be using for this project. You can use whatever the colors you preferred, or you can just use one color. Okay, now for loom options. This smaller one, the 24 peg one, is for a preemie to newborn. The 31 peg loom, it will be for a baby to 1 year old. And the bigger one, which is the 41 pegs, it will be for a large woman or a large man. 36 peg one, which is the one that I will be using for this video, it will be for a toddler, a teen, a woman, and for a small man. And then we're also gonna need our loom hook and then our scissors. Then I'm gonna make a sketch of how I want my hat to be. So I'm gonna kind of like draw a little bit in here. And yeah, so to know how long I want it from the top of my head to the bottom of my ear. So I already had my measurements, and my measurements are 7.5 inches from the top of my head to the bottom of my ear. So now I am gonna divide it how I want my colors to go. And just like I'm doing there, that's the design that I want for my hat. So the first part, I want the blue color. The small strip is gonna be white, the 2 strips. The middle is gonna be red, and the top is gonna be blue. So that's how I want the design of my hat, and then I'm gonna be adding a pom-pom as well. So as you can see here, that's how I want my hat. Okay, and now I need to measure like how long I want my pieces to be, so I don't complicate myself too much in here. I'm just gonna round it to 8 inches, and then I'm gonna start dividing the colors. And as you can see here, since I rounded to 8 inches, now I can divide better my colors. So the blue is gonna be 2 inches, the red 2 inches, and the other blue 2 inches. So it's 6, and then my little 2 white strips are gonna be 1 inches each, and that's in total 8 inches. So that's how I'm gonna divide my colors. Okay, so let's begin here. And like I said earlier, I am gonna use the 36 peg loom, and I am gonna start with the royal blue colors. And like I said, I'm gonna be using 2 strings. So I get the side for the Hometown USA from Lion brand, and the Red Heart Love metallic in royal blue. So I'm gonna get the 2 strings like so. I'm gonna make my slip knot. And once I'm done with my slip knot, I am gonna attach my loop to the first peg. Not in that one, but in this one. It's completely up to you if you want to attach the loop to the peg that is poking out, but I always like to do this, so I'm gonna attach it to my first peg, and I'm gonna start to cast on, which is gonna be just the E-wrap. And when we E-wrap, we're gonna wrap through the inside, not to the outside, like I'm showing here, not like that. So we're gonna wrap in the inside of the loop like so. So that's what we're gonna be doing all the way around until we get to our last peg. Okay, so I just got here to my last peg, and then I'm gonna wrap in the first peg that I wrapped earlier. So that's what I'm doing, and just remember we're gonna be wrapping in the inside of the loom, not in the outside. Okay, so we keep wrapping like this until we get again to our last peg. Okay, so now that we got to the end of the last peg and we have our 2 loops in each loop, now with our hook we're gonna start knitting off like I'm gonna do here. Okay, and to avoid what is happening here, when you wrap, don't wrap it too tight, otherwise it's gonna be hard to knit off like it's happening to me right here. Okay, so we keep knitting off all the way until we get to the last loop, and then I should see you here once I'm done. Okay, so once we get to the end and we knit off all our loops, we just push them down like so we can have room for our next row, which is gonna be the beginning of the hat now. So okay, so now for to begin the hat, I'm gonna wrap my first 2 pegs. So I wrap the first one and then I'm gonna knit off right away. So I knit off the first one, and like I said, just don't wrap them too tight, otherwise it's gonna be hard to knit off. Okay, and in this one, it was supposed to be my second loop that I was supposed to wrap, which apparently I skipped it, and I went right away for the purl stitch. So just to make sure that you guys understand, the first 2 loops are wrap. Yeah, so just ignore the second loop that I just did purled. Like I said, the first 2 loops have to be wrap. Okay, so yeah, that was supposed to be wrap. Now I will get a stitch marker so I don't get lost like I just did there in the beginning. So yeah, I'm gonna put my stitch marker right there, and that means that's my first loop. So my first loop is 2 wraps like I said. My third one is gonna be the purl stitch like I'm doing right here, and I'm sorry that if I look really slow right there, my hook was terrible. It was really loose, so every time I try to get the loop, the hook, the yarn got really loose, so I was struggling there. Okay, and I'm gonna repeat it again. My first 2 pegs are gonna be E-wrap. My third one is gonna be purled. My fourth one and fifth one are gonna be E-wrap as well. So that's what we're gonna be doing all the way until we get to our last loop. It's gonna be 2 E-wrap, 1 purl, 2 E-wrap, 1 purl. So it's gonna be 2 1 2 1 until we get to the end of our loom. Okay, so I just finished here my first row with E-wrap and purl. So now I'm gonna keep doing the exact same thing, 2 E-wrap, 1 purl, 2 E-wrap, 1 purl, until my blue portion measures 2 inches. So after it measures 2 inches, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna change to my next color, which is gonna be the white. Okay, so I just finished here with the blue. So now this is what it looks like. That's like the wrong side. As you can tell, on the wrong side it has a pretty pattern as well. Okay, so it measures now 2 inches, and like I said, after I measured 2 inches, I was going to change to my next color, which is the white one. Okay, so now I get my metallic white color from Red Hard, and then I get the Hometown USA white one as well. And I am gonna do the exact same thing like I did with the blue. I'm gonna get the 2 strings together, and I'm gonna make a slip knot just like I did in the beginning with the blue. So now that I have that white color ready to go, I'm gonna attach it to the loop that is hanging in the outside, not in my first peg like I did in the beginning. If you remember, with the first version with the blue, we did 2 E-wraps in the beginning. So now my first peg is gonna be the purl stitch. So with my hook, I'm gonna lift the loop like I'm gonna do right there, and then I'm gonna get my yarn like so I can do the purl stitch. So we make the loop, and then we get the blue loop, we remove it and place a new loop in the peg, and we pull. So there's our first peg. So for the second one, we're gonna do a E-wrap, and for the third one as well. And then we need off, and we're basically doing what we did in the first row with the blue. Just instead of start with the 2 E-wraps, we're starting with 1 purl and then 2 E-wraps. So it's basically the same thing, we just started with the purl first. So we're gonna repeat that all the way around until we get to the end of our loop, and this is basically the cast on for our new color. So like I said, it's gonna be 1 purl, 2 E-wrap, 1 purl, 2 E-wrap all the way around. Okay, so I just finished here the cast on for my new color, for the white color. Now we get the white string and the blue string, and we make a knot just to secure the 2 tails, and for the blue knot to undo or something. Okay, now for the second row with the white color, how we're gonna start the second row is we're gonna purl in the first peg, and we know it's our first peg because we have our slip stitch right there. So okay, and for the second peg, we're gonna E-wrap, and for the third one, we're gonna E-wrap as well. So we need off, and we're technically gonna do the same thing that we did when we cast on. First peg purled, second and third ear wrap, fourth purled, and that's what we're gonna be repeating all the way till we get to the end. It's 1 2 1 2, and we're gonna repeat that until the white color measures 1 inch long. Okay, so now my white portion measures 1 inch long. So now we need to change our third color, which is gonna be the red, and this is how it's looking right now. This is the wrong side of the hat, and this is the right side. So yeah, that's what we have here so far. So let me close up a little bit so you guys you can see the design better. Okay, so now we're gonna cut a tail, and now we do the exact same thing for the red. I get a string with the red heart metallic color and with the Hometown USA in red. We make a slip knot like we did with the other two colors previously. We attach our loop to the peg that is hanging in the side of the loom, and then for the first peg we're gonna wrap, and I'm going to knit off right away. For the second loop, I'm gonna purl. So like I said, I get my first loop, I get the bottom yarn, I pull it through, I make my loop, remove the last peg, put a new one in the peg, and pull it so it gets tied. For the third one, I'm gonna purl again. So I did 1 ear wrap and 2 purls. Then my fourth one is gonna be an ear wrap. So if you remember, in the previous one we did 1 purl and 2 ear wraps, and this one is gonna be 1 ear wrap and 2 purls. So that's what we're gonna do all the way around. Okay, so I just finished my red portion, and it now measures 2 inches. So, and to talk about again what we did in this row, we wrap our first peg, we purled the next 2, and then we wrap the fourth one. So we basically did 1 ear wrap, 2 purls, 1 ear wrap, 2 purls. We did the opposite that we did with the blue and the white one. So this is what our hat looks in the right side, right there. This is how it looks, our pattern close up. Yeah, so this is the right, and this is how it looks in the wrong side. So now to finish our red color, we're gonna cut a tail, and we get once again our white color, which is a Hometown USA and the Red Heart Love metallic. And here I was gonna do a slip knot and do what I did with the previous rows, but instead I'm just gonna get the 2 tails and I'm gonna tie a knot. Okay, so now to begin the first row with the white, which is basically gonna be the cast on for the white color, we're gonna purl in the first loop, second loop, I'm gonna E-wrap, and for the third one, I'm gonna E-wrap as well, and then I knit off. For the fourth peg, we're gonna purl. So, and we're gonna repeat what we did with the blue and the white one, the first two colors. So it's gonna be one purl, two E-wrap, one purl, two E-wrap, and we're gonna repeat that all the way to the end and until the white color measures 1 inch. And then after we finish with the white, we're gonna do the other portion of the blue, which we're gonna start our first peg with 2 pearls, and then the third one E-wrap, and then 2 pearls. So it's gonna be 2 pearls, 1 E-wrap, 2 pearls, 1 E-wrap. I see you back here when I'm done. Okay, so I'm done here with the white portion and the last blue portion, and now our hat is done in lengthwise. So now to finish off this and to cast off, I'm gonna get a long string with the blue, and I'm gonna put it around my loom how I'm doing it right here, and that's for me to be sure that I'm gonna have enough tail to cast off. So I cut my tail right there, and now we're ready to cast off. So, and to do that, I'm gonna need my thread needle. I'm gonna get one of the strings, and I'm gonna pull it through, and then I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the second string. Okay, so now I'm gonna get my needle, and I'm gonna pull it through how I'm doing there in my first peg and the first loop that I have there, and then I'm gonna remove it, and then I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the second one. I'm gonna pull my needle and then pull the string through it and then remove it, and that's what basically we're gonna be doing through all the loops that we have until we get to the last one. Okay, I just got here to the last loop that I have. We remove the loop, and now we can remove our hat off the loom. So this is what we have. This is the wrong side, and we just with a needle we hide all the tails, and now with the big tail that we had when we removed the hat, we pull it hard so we can close our hat like I'm doing there. And then now for us to not have that little hole there, we get our needle and pull it through the yarn, and then just go and try to close it more how I'm gonna do it right here. And now we do a knot like I did there so we can secure our thread. Now we cut the rest of it, and yeah, so this is what we have in the wrong side. So now we can flip it over, and this is what we have in the right side. And like I said, with that thread needle you can just hide all the tails that we have in the inside. So yeah, this is what our hat looks like. This is the close-up for the pattern. Okay, now for my pom-pom, I'm gonna get all 6 colors, which is the 2 strings of white, the 2 red, and the 2 blue ones, and I'm gonna put them all together. And I'm gonna start wrapping in my finger like I'm doing here for several times. So yeah, just keep wrapping until you think it will be enough for how big your pom-pom you want your pom-pom to be. So for mine, I am gonna wrap around 50 times. I cut my thread, and then now I'm gonna get 1 string of any color long enough to wrap it around. So now I'm gonna kind of put in the middle like I'm doing, divide it in the middle like I'm doing here, and I'm gonna try to pass my tail around it how I'm gonna do here. I tied 1 knot, and then I pass it to the other side like I'm doing here, and then just pull hard so it's well tied, and I make a double knot in the other side how I did here. So now I'm not gonna cut those tails because that's gonna help me to grab the pom-pom. So now with my scissors I'm gonna start cutting all the loops like I'm doing there. So that's basically what I'm gonna do for my pom-pom. I'm gonna cut the side, and then I'm gonna cut the other side. Okay, so once we cut all the loops, we're gonna start trimming our pom-pom, and we're just basically gonna start cutting all the rough edges so our pom-pom looks pretty and fluffy. Make sure to not cut the 2 strings that we had, the longer strings that we're holding the pom-pom with, because that's we're gonna use those 2 strings to attach it to our hat. And just keep trimming and cutting your pom-pom until you like it, and yep. Okay, so here I finished with my pom-pom. So now I'm gonna attach it to my hat. So I'm gonna get my thread needle, and then I'm gonna get one side of the string that I had, and then I'm gonna grab my hat, and I'm just gonna place it in place and look where I want to put it. So I'm gonna pass one thread, and then I put the other side of the thread in my needle, and I stick it to the other side of my hat like so. I'm kind of gonna flip my hat over a little bit so I can tie my my pom-pom. So I'm gonna get the 2 strings how I'm gonna do here, and I'm just gonna tie a knot. I cut my tail, and now my pom-pom is in place, and we just hide all those tails, so you just can cut them how I'm gonna do right here. And the tail that we have from where we started the project, just get your thread needle and just hide it through all the little stitches that we have out there. Okay, so now we can flip over our hat, and this is what our hat looks like right now. Yeah, so this is the finished product. I hope this is how our pattern looks close up. Yeah, so this is what we have in the right side. This is how our pom-pom looks like, and if you have little strings like the one that is poking right there, you just can cut all those. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope it was easy enough to follow. So yeah, see you in the next video.